Hi guys, welcome to my Skyrim Special Edition Creation Kit tutorial series. In this series, we will see how to make a farmhouse, give it a bit of lighting, and arrange the furniture so that it looks like a farmhouse, and make a new NPC into the game, and finally linking the house to the Skyrim. Let's see. Our first step is to load the data file skyrim.asm and click OK. It takes a couple of minutes to load. While loading the master file, you will get this type of warnings. So remember to give yes to all for any of these cases. Okay, the master file is now loaded. We can just close the warnings. This is the render window. In this window, you will see what you have created. This is the object window. This holds nearly every objects which is used to create the Skyrim. And these are the independent cells in Skyrim. You can duplicate any of these and convert it into a new cell. I'll show you how to do that. First, you need a cell to build a farmhouse. A cell is a place which holds the farmhouse in the game. So we can select the AAA marker cell and right click it, duplicate cell. So you will see a duplicated cell next to it. Double click on that cell and it will load. But before doing that, select everything in this cell and hit delete. After everything is deleted, you can just rename this cell to a test. No, it should not be. Now it's missing. Just select any one of the cell and type T, so it will move to that. Right click it and click edit. Now you will see the edit window. You don't have to use most of these. Just go to the interior data and the name is here as marker storage unit. This is the name which will display when you get to your farmhouse in Skyrim. So let's keep the same name. Test farmhouse. Okay. There are so many objects in the creation kit, so I'll choose a few from that. So now in the objects window, go to the world objects. Select the static. Under the static, you will see the farmhouse, and you have farmhouse interiors. You can select the farmhouse interiors. Now we need a end piece to start our farmhouse. So let's take this one and see. Yes, this is the one. Now the controls for moving is If you hold the middle mouse button and move your mouse, you can just pan around the screen. If you hold shift and move your cursor, you can pivot around a single object. And if you hold space and move, you can also pan. Use the scroll wheel to zoom in and zoom out. So the controls are nearly easy. Now we need a doorway, which means a door to enter. So we will find a doorway. I think it's this one. This is the doorway. Let's check. Yes, it has a door and it is a doorway. So this are not arranged properly. So what we can do? The simple thing is before just arranging the object, you can do a thing. Select this and hit Ctrl plus D to duplicate the object and turn on these two buttons. This will help you a lot. The snap-on grid is a feature. You can edit these properties in this panel. Set snap to grid to 128 and snap to angle to 45. You can apply that. It takes a while to apply. Okay. Now the trick is if you want to move in a particular axis, you can just hold the respective key. Is that if you hold X and click and drag the object, you can just move the object along the X axis. Similarly, if you click Z and move it, you can move it only along Z axis. But you can't move it on Y because Y changes the camera's position. Instead, you can hit E, which will show you three axes. You can hit an axis, is that click it and it will show you in yellow color, and then click and drag, it will move only in that axis. To disable this option, press the E again. So what I'm going to do is I just duplicated this and hold X and drag it along the X axis, and I'm going to change this space into the doorway. It's farm internal doorway. So after selecting the object which needs to be replaced, Ctrl plus F brings you a panel which you can use it to replace the objects. Just search for this one is the one we've selected, and you can replace it with a farm internal doorway. This one, and click OK. And it's replaced. So hold X and drag it along the X-axis. It is correctly placed. You can do similar thing. Just Control and D to duplicate, hold X and move it aside, and Control F and we can have a fireplace in the can choose fire pit number 2 and click OK. Oops, that's not nice. So I need to verify that it's this one I need. So I need a farm interior 2H02. This is the object I need. So I'm going to duplicate it again. Oops. Duplicate it, hold X and drag it along the X-axis. Control F. And this one. Yes. Now we have a nice fireplace. Basically, this should be our house. We can just bring an end like this one. So we can Control D, hold X and drag, Control F. And replace it with N2. No, this is not the object. So duplicate it again. I use Control plus Z for undoing anything I need. You can also do this by clicking the undo, which makes the duplicated object disappear since it is the last thing I done. So Control D, hold X, drag it along the X, Control F. And I'm going to replace this with into. I think this will, yes, this is the exact piece I was searching for. Now we have a small farmhouse with a small basement. Maybe the basement is a little bit large so that we can divide this into a room. So I need a divider to do this. There are 4 types of dividers. You can drag one of these and you can but I'm not going to do this. Just select this cell and Control D to duplicate that and Control F to replace it. This is the easy way to add an object to the render window. So I'm going to choose the farmhouse divider. Divider 1, click OK. And To rotate an object along an axis, you just hold the right mouse button and move the cursor. This is where the snap-on grid comes in handy. Remember that we have set it to 45 before, so that when you swap the object using the right click, you just move 45 degrees at a time, so that it is easy to use. So it takes a while to move this. So x-axis, no, I'm going to hit E and click the y-axis, move it along the y, and I ensure that there is no gap between the divider and the farmhouse. There is a gap, but so push it aside once. Oh, I think there's a gap, so we can reduce the snap to grid to 64, half of 128. So now we can move half. What is it? So we can move through it. Still it comes through the other side, but doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do next is duplicate this one and drag it along the same y-axis, and I'm going to replace this control and F. Control and F. I think I didn't hit it properly. So it already suggests the farm B divider 2. So let's click OK. So we have a doorway in it. So we can fix a door here and make it a separate room. Now we have a gap. Now select the first divider and hit Ctrl D to duplicate it and move it along the axis, so that the excess of the divider moves out of the house. Now you can click E to disable that. Now I'm going to select the center divider. Is that the one with the doorway? And click Ctrl and D. This is we are going to replace it with the door. For doors, you need to go to the static. No, those will not be in the static window. I'm sorry. Sometimes Creation Kit 64-bit crashes a lot. You can move up and select doors in the same world objects, and you can expand it and click the farmhouse. what we need is the farmhouse animation door 1. This is the door we need. So I'm going to replace this. So you need to click the render window before you can replace anything. Replace it with the farmhouse animation door. The word animation here is used so that it can open and close. So there is no door, I think. I think I will not be able to replace it. Oops. So I'm going to drag in the door, move it a little bit front, hold the right mouse button and drag. So it fits exactly what I need. I need to double click the door and select open by default to see if it is working. So this is the door, so that when you enter into the farmhouse you will see it open by default. You can change this if you want here. So now it's closed, and this is our beginning, the first farmhouse. Hope you have enjoyed the tutorial. And just one more thing, I forgot to mention it. You can always save your projects in the file menu and click save. It will automatically direct to the data folder where you have installed the Skyrim Special Edition. If it don't, then select the folder you have installed the Skyrim Special Edition and select the data folder in that. I'm going to name this same test farmhouse. That's it. You can download this in the Nexus modes if you want to check what I have done, and you will also see its final thing uploaded in the Nexus modes. See you soon.